Have you ever stopped to wonder what's really happening inside your head when you make a snap judgment? Or when you get a gut feeling about something? Well, today, we're going to dive deep into the incredible work of Daniel Kahneman and meet the two competing systems that are basically running the show up there. But you know what? To really get this, we're not just going to talk about it. We're going to experience it. So get ready. I'm about to throw two very different problems at you, and all I want you to do is notice what it feels like when you try to solve them.
You got it instantly, right? You didn't just see a woman with dark hair. You saw that she is angry. And you probably felt that she's about to say some pretty unkind words. The thought just appeared. That right there was fast thinking.
That feeling of knowing something without even knowing how you know it, that was your brain on autopilot. You didn't decide to assess her mood. It didn't even feel like something you did. It just happened. That was your first system at work. Okay, get ready for a total gear shift.
Whoa, totally different feeling, isn't it? You knew immediately it was a multiplication problem. And you probably know you could solve it, but the answer definitely didn't just pop into your head. Go on, give it a shot, try to work it out. If you actually tried to solve that, you felt the strain, didn't you? Your pupils probably dilated, your blood pressure went up, you had to pull a whole program from memory, hold a bunch of numbers in your head, and follow a sequence of steps. That deliberate, effortful process, that was your second system kicking into gear. Oh, and by the way, the answer's 408.
So these two totally different experiences, they perfectly introduce us to the two lead characters in the drama that is our minds. Kahneman gave them really simple names, System 1 and System 2. The best way to think about them is as two agents, each with their own personality, their own talents, constantly interacting to create your reality. So, System 1 is the impulsive hero of our story. It's your gut reaction. It's the part of you that knows one object is farther away than another, that can finish the phrase salt and, or that gets that flash of disgust when you see something gross. It's on all the time, just humming in the background, and honestly, it's the source of almost everything we think and do. And then there's System 2. This is the conscious, reasoning you. The one that has beliefs, makes choices, and decides what to think about. It's who you think you are. It's the part that can follow rules, compare to different phones before you buy one, and make deliberate choices. But it has one huge, defining feature. It is lazy. Like, really lazy. It takes actual effort to get it going, and most of the time, it would just rather not. So here's the most important thing to get. System 1 is fast, automatic, intuitive. It's running the show pretty much all the time. System 2, it's slow, deliberate, and analytical. It only bothers to show up when things get tough, when System 1 gets stumped, or when you consciously force it to take over. And Kahneman himself just nails the dynamic with this quote. See, we all identify with our thoughtful, conscious System 2. We think that's who's in charge. But in reality, most of our thoughts and actions actually come from the automatic suggestions of System 1, and our so-called logical System 2 just kind of lazily signs off on them. Now, most of the time, this partnership works out just fine, but System 1 has biases. These are predictable, systematic errors it's prone to making. Its need for speed and a tidy story can sometimes lead us into some pretty big mistakes. And this, my friends, is where our story gets really interesting. Okay, here we go. Don't overthink this. Just go with the very first number that pops into your head. A bat and a ball together cost $1.10. The bat costs exactly $1 more than the ball. So, how much does the ball cost? Did you think 10 cents? If you did, don't worry, you are in very, very good company. That answer is super intuitive, it feels right, and it just springs to mind for almost everyone. And that is your System 1, jumping to a conclusion. It sees the $1.10, it sees the $1, it does a quick, easy subtraction and serves up 10 cents on a silver platter. But it's a trap, a classic example of an intuitive error. To find the real answer, you have to wake up that lazy System 2 and actually do the work. Think about it. If the ball is 5 cents and the bat is $1 more, then the bat is $1.05. And what's $1.05 plus 5 cents? Boom, $1.10. Resisting that first easy answer requires effort that our System 2 just doesn't want to make. Now, here's what's really fascinating. More than half, 50% of students at top universities like Harvard, MIT, and Princeton get this wrong. So this isn't about being smart or not. It's about a universal human tendency to lean on our fast, intuitive, and sometimes totally wrong System 1.
And this laziness has some other pretty wild consequences. In the famous invisible gorilla experiment, people are asked to count basketball passes in a video. Because their effortful System 2 is so focused on counting, about half of them, completely failed to notice a woman in a full gorilla suit walk right through the middle of the scene. It shows we can be blind to the obvious, and what's worse, we're also blind to our own blindness.
Okay, so we know System 1 can be tricked, but it gets even weirder. It can also be influenced in ways we have absolutely no idea about. This is a phenomenon called priming, where just being exposed to one idea can trigger a whole web of related ideas in your memory, all without you consciously knowing it. Let me show you what I mean.
Picture this, an office kitchen. Researchers put up an honesty box for people to pay for coffee. For 10 weeks, they swapped out the poster hanging over the price list. On the weeks with a poster of flowers, contributions were okay. But on the weeks with a poster of staring eyes, people paid in nearly 3 times as much money. Just a symbolic reminder of being watched was enough to prime more honest behavior. Wild, right?
And this goes even deeper, almost into creepy territory. Priming can actually link abstract feelings to physical actions. They call it the Lady Macbeth effect. Researchers found that if they got people to lie about something, those people later showed a much stronger preference for cleaning products, like soap or mouthwash. The feeling of being morally dirty actually primed a physical desire to get clean. It's this profound connection happening completely under the radar. So if our intuitive hero can be tricked, and our lazy controller doesn't even want to get out of bed, what are we supposed to do? Well, the key isn't to try and get rid of System 1. That's impossible, and it would be a disaster. The real goal is to get better at managing the collaboration between these two characters in your head. So how do we pull this off? It really boils down to a few things. First, just remember you've got this fast hero and a lazy director running around in your head. Second, know that the hero's speed is both its greatest strength and its greatest weakness. Third, your lazy director's job is to be skeptical and check the hero's work, but it's usually napping. So the most practical thing you can do? Learn to recognize the kinds of situations where your gut is likely to get it wrong. Think of it as setting an alarm clock for your lazy director. Look, the big takeaway here is not to stop trusting your gut. Your intuition is an amazing tool, and it's right most of the time. The real goal is just to train your System 2 to know when to pause and say, hang on a second, let me double check that, especially when the stakes are high. It's all about making them a better team. At the end of the day, it's like this. Your automatic System 1 is always going to be the storyteller, constantly feeding you impressions, intuitions, and feelings to make sense of the world. But it's your effortful System 2 that holds the pen. It has the final say. It has the power to doubt, to question, and to rewrite that story. And just recognizing that you have that power, that's the first step to becoming a much wiser thinker. So the only question left is, what will you choose to write?